easy-to-read book and helpful book called Think Forward to Thrive, subtitled How to Use the Mind's Power of Anticipation to Transcend, I love that word, transcend your past and transform your life. Please welcome to the bright side Dr. Janice Vilhauer. What's up, Dr. Vilhauer? Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for being here. Love the book. Let's get cut right to the chase. What is future-directed therapy, and how does it, in your opinion, differ from ordinary psychotherapy, the law of attraction, positive thinking, and all the other zillions of self-help strategies and concepts and resources that people have available to them?
That's a very big question. So future-directed therapy is basically, I should say initially it was a treatment that I developed for major depressive disorders. So it came out of work that I was doing with a lot of people who had depression. And I was really noticing that there was a very big difference between people that seemed to be able to get better and those that didn't. And it always seemed that the ones that were getting better were able to focus on a goal, to identify something that they wanted to work towards. And in that process, that's when you would see the symptoms really starting to lift, and you would see them moving towards well-being. So I wanted to really understand what was happening, and I looked into the psychology research and the literature and found that there was a pretty large body of work that had already been sort of researched to show that future thinking was incredibly important to well-being, but that none of it had really been sort of pulled together in a sort of step-by-step process. And so that's really what I wanted to do, was to pull these tools together that people had been studying for many years and really offer it as an intervention that people could use on their own.
Now, future thinking, that makes sense. We think about the future. We always have wishes and aspirations and desires about the future, but the problem is we bring the past into the future, correct?
Well, exactly. That the way that most people, when they're not sort of consciously aware of what they're doing, kind of create future experiences, is they tend to project from their past. They tend to anticipate that the future is going to look very much like the past, and as a result, they act according to their expectations, and what that eventually leads to is creating what we call sort of self-fulfilling prophecies. So they're taking actions based on what they expect, which is very different oftentimes than what they want, and then as a result of that, they're sort of recreating past experiences.
Does that kind of sum up the problem, is that our expectations get in the way of our wants and desires?
It's that our expectations are different than our wants and desires. So, one of the sort of simple examples I use to illustrate this concept, when I teach future-directed therapy, which I often teach in a course, is that, I ask people, would you like to win the lottery? And everybody says, well, yes, of course, And then I say, well, when was the last time you bought a lottery ticket? And people kind of look around at each other, and it's like, well, 6 months ago, And when I ask them, why is that, the answer is always the same. It's like, well, we don't expect to win. So it's understanding that, we're taking actions based on our expectations and not what we want in life. And that's, I think, the really kind of important key concept. Because in that example, the expectation, is sort of accurate. Most people really don't win the lottery. But a lot of times in life, things that we want, that we really do have control over, that we really can create for ourselves, are still things that we don't expect to get in life. So, for example, if you want to have a new relationship, a good relationship, in your past history, as you've had several failed relationships, oftentimes, you're expecting the next one to go in a similar way. So your actions, might be based, instead of, working hard on the relationship, your expectation is, well, it's not going to work out anyway, so why bother? So maybe you kind of bail at the first sign of something going wrong, as opposed to, really, trying to make it work. So you can see how what we expect, again, then creates the experience itself.
Can we change expectations artificially? Can we really convince ourselves that we expect something different? Or is expectations just something that's built into our way of thinking?
Well, that's a large part of the process in future-directed therapy, is really teaching people how to begin to change their expectations, because their expectations are really based on experience. But what we also know is that oftentimes when people are sort of thinking about a certain event in their future that they want, they're selectively pulling from things that have happened in the past as opposed to sort of the whole picture. So oftentimes they have this sort of selective filter around the negative experiences, and that's really what they're seeing as opposed to, the whole picture. So for most people, even if they've had several past failed relationships, they've also had successes during those relationships. There are things that they have done right, things that have gone well for them. And so it's really starting with the process of getting them to see that there are things that have gone well in their life, and to start pulling from those experiences, and then to sort of begin to, in a very step-by-step sort of way, start to act on on things that they want in their life where they can achieve some successes, but they do it in a small way so that they get to build their confidence. And in that process, they begin to shift the expectation itself. So it's understanding that, our expectations in life are oftentimes not necessarily based on the reality of the things that have happened, but really are sort of selectively being pulled from some negative experiences that we've had in our past.
So they're based on reality, but it's a reality that we select, and we can select other reality. So we can select whatever we want.
It's a distorted reality. Yeah.
So do you think? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just agreeing with you. It's a distorted reality that, in fact, is oftentimes sort of pulled out. For some reason, we have this tendency to really hyper-focus on negative experiences in our past as opposed to, the whole picture. And once you're sort of consciously aware that you're doing that, one of the exercises that we do is really get people to actively focus on the positive things that have happened to them. And for most people, there are some there. There are things that have gone well for them.
Dr. Villar, hang on to that thought. We got to take a break, okay? We'll continue when we come back. We're talking to Dr. Janice Vilhauer. Her book is Think Forward to Thrive. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back after this.
Stress, like many conditions in a fast-paced society, is at epidemic proportions, and one of the most effective ways to support your body during periods of excessive stress is by replacing the nutrients expended during that time. De-stress contains large amounts of B-complex vitamins, in addition to vitamin C, magnesium, and valerian root extract. For more information on this and other great products, contact Lady Talk Live at 855-333-5239. Majestic Earth's Beyond Tangy Tangerine contains no artificial sweeteners or preservatives and is glycemic friendly. This easy dissolving powder contains plant-derived minerals, vitamins, amino acids, and 115 fruits and vegetables. I can't think of anything better for you. For more information on this and other great products, contact Lady Talk Live at 855-333-5239. That's 855-333-LADY.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
Improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R-value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
Managing your business and customers isn't easy, huh? SnapForce customer relationship software may be just what you need. SnapForce CRM is a software solution that helps you manage everything important about your customers, from sales to marketing to service and support. All of your customer information is right there at your fingertips for easy access. It's time to take control of your business in a snap. Get your free trial at snapforce.com. That's SNAPFORCE.com. Snapforce.com.
Virtually anyone can hack your cell phone and track your calls, your texts, your emails, your every movement, but only if they can detect a signal. Stay one step ahead of hackers and Big Brother with a Block-It Pocket, a custom-made pocket infused with pure silver that creates a complete Faraday enclosure for your cell phone. For free shipping to the lower 48, visit blockitpocket.com or call 888-315-9618. blockitpocket.com, enhancing health and privacy. For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey Guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey Guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
Not just an alternative to the mainstream media. We're the premier independent talk radio network. We are GCN.
Okay, we are back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're talking to Janice Vilhauer, Dr. Janice Vilhauer, about her book, Think Forward to Thrive. Hey, Dr. Vilhauer. So, you there, ma'am?
Yes.
There, Doc?
Yes.
Okay, good. So a lot of this, a lot of what you're talking about kind of hinges on the ability to control our thoughts, correct?
Well, the ability to be aware of your thoughts and to consciously be able to sort of redirect thinking. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you seem to be making a distinction between redirecting and controlling. Is that right?
Well, I would say that they're probably the same thing. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So there's an element to your theory here. There's an element of controlling thought. That's what I'm trying to get at. Is that right? That our thoughts have a certain power, and the ability to direct them, as you say, or as I'm saying, control them, impacts how effective we're going to be when it comes to thinking forward as opposed to thinking in the past. And my question to you is, isn't the survival imperative, the need to protect ourselves, doesn't that always trump the desire to thrive or the desire to be better?
Well, I think that we oftentimes want to protect ourselves from negative things happening in the future if they have happened to us in the past. But I think it's really important that people begin to have this conscious awareness that nothing in the future has happened yet, and that, if some of the fear is coming from this lack of awareness of understanding why things have gone a certain way for them in the past, knowing that they can do something different, knowing that, that there is a process by which they can successfully create future experiences for themselves. So a lot of the fear is about not knowing how to do it differently.
So in other words, just knowing that there's a possibility that you can think differently, that you have there is an aspect of control that you have over how things develop. Just knowing that is powerful. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. And that's one of the things that I've seen be so transformative for people, is that as they're beginning to learn this material and they start to see, how it all works, and the light bulbs start to go off in their head, they get really excited. They lose the fear. They start to see, wow, there's not as much to be afraid of as they sort of thought in the first place. They don't have to continue to recreate past experiences. There is, a process by which they can begin to make changes that is very effective, and it's not as difficult as, people imagine it to be.
Okay, one of the most powerful ideas, I think, when it comes to for lack of a better term, self-help or achieving what you want to achieve, one of the most powerful ideas, for better or worse, is the idea that we have a limited attention span, that we can only think one thought at a time. Tell me how you have a chapter called The Value of Your Thoughts where you kind of address this a little bit. Tell us a little bit about how this, for better or worse, aspect of our thinking behavior, that we can only think one thought at a time, how does that play into what you're talking about, thinking forward to thrive?
Well, I think attention attention regulation, which is what you're talking about, is something that is highly underutilized in the field of psychology, and it's so important that our attention creates our experience. So because we can only sort of think one thought at a time, whatever it is that we're focused on